Hey guys, I have been spending this weekend just getting ready for the week and trying to get centered. I don't know about you guys, but right after Thanksgiving, that time period between Thanksgiving and Christmas is a grind. And I can tend to feel a little overwhelmed. I can tend to feel just like I don't have enough time, enough resources, enough energy, just feeling stressed and overwhelmed. And I remember, for those of you that are students, when I was in school, that push from Thanksgiving to the end of the semester was hard and it was stressful. And I just wanted to take a few minutes to encourage you on getting centered. What I want to create is thriving, not just surviving, and especially not stumbling to the finish line at the end of the semester. And I know that when we get focused, right, because we learned at Coach Camp that oftentimes the enemy tries to steal our focus and tries to get us distracted and overwhelmed and making us feel like we're not enough. But when we get focused, we can thrive and we can go through this next little push to the end of the semester with joy and with peace and with abundance. So I just wanted to get us focused on that and give you some tips today on how you can truly not just survive, but thrive and be highly successful through the end of the semester. So first of all, I want to encourage you to embrace the grind and to show grit. So I watched a video over the Christmas break about the importance of grit. And there was a writer who she actually has her doctorate degree in psychology, and she studied highly successful students and highly successful people. And she said the one characteristic that they all have is that they all display grit. And grit is courage and resolve and the strength of character. So that means that when you're in the grind and when things get hard and you have challenges, that you tap into that strength of character to pursue or to persevere to the end. And I know that so many of you display that characteristic of grit. That's what makes you successful. And I remember at the beginning of the semester, we had a meeting and we did this fun little team building activity. And we talked about how pushing through barriers, pushing through trials and obstacles, that's what you guys have been doing. And I'm so proud of you. And I know that last little leg of the race can be the hardest sometimes. And I just really encourage you to get focused, to get centered, and to finish strong. The reality is, this is also the most stressful time of the year for our teachers, our directors, and the kids. So not only are we sometimes feeling stressed and overwhelmed, but so are the teachers, so are the directors, so are the kids, and it can create just a lot of anxiety at our schools, a lot of chaos at our schools, and we do not want to be a part of multiplying that stress and anxiety. So I encourage you just to take a few minutes before you get going for this last push of the semester to get centered and to get focused. So the first thing I want you to focus on is your why. Like when we get focused on why we do what we do, that will give us the ability to persevere and to get through. So I know that all of us share this deep passion for impacting kids. We want to make a difference in children's lives. We also want to make a difference across all of West Texas. So just like at Coach Camp when we did that hot air balloon demonstration and y'all counted out all of your little kiddos and saw the hundreds and thousands. We actually service over 4,000 children, that we want them to soar. We want them to experience high levels of success and to be able to just pour into them. So I want you to think about seeing them, at the end of the semester and the end of the school year, just growing and learning and the impact that you're having on them. Also setting our intentions. So when we know we truly want to impact the kids, directors, and teachers, people do not remember what you say. They remember how you make them feel. So in this time when they're feeling super stressed and overwhelmed, if we come in being a blessing and not a burden, they will not forget that. Just like when you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed and somebody comes and blesses you, you remember that forever. So think of how can we make them feel joyful and make them feel peace. Y'all, Christmas, that's what Christmas was intended to be. Jesus came to give us peace on earth and to give us abundance so that we may live abundantly and live joyfully. So in receiving that gift, we actually have the ability to live into that and to be a light of what that looks like to everyone else around us. And it's so exciting. So also think about how can we spread love and peace and joy this month. And another intention is just to be present in everything you do, but especially to be present with the kiddos in your classes. Some of the results that you're going to have and the rewards of being intentional is, number one, taking your focus off of your circumstances. I know if you're like me, I'm thinking about all the hundreds of things that I need to get done, and focusing instead on serving others is going to bring tremendous joy that you've never felt before. And that is priceless. Being a blessing to others, anytime we try to be a blessing to someone else, it ends up blessing us 10 times more. And that is such a gift that we can receive this Christmas season. Also, being present will bring us peace. It'll bring us joy. And let your classes be an escape from the stresses of this time period, and to have fun with the kids, to be a kid again, just to have that time where you don't have to think about any of the demands, any of the pressures that are on you. And a couple of things that you can ask yourself is, how can I serve and bless others? How can I be focused this month? How can I be present in everything I do? Now, how we're going to thrive, these are our keys to success, is really living into and embracing our mission statement. And sometimes it's easy to lose focus on this, so I know that I've said this, but I just want to encourage you to remain focused. Number one, on ultimate service. Everybody say that with me, ultimate service. And that is serving with excellence and not allowing ourselves to settle for anything less. So in serving with excellence, a couple of opportunities this month especially is being flexible. There's going to be times that we have to use other rooms. They might be having activities. They might be having Christmas parties. We've got to be flexible as much as we possibly can. Number two, communication. Say that with me, communication. That is so key to you providing ultimate service and to you really thriving in this Christmas season. Ask your schools, your directors and your teachers about Christmas parties that are coming up, Christmas activities. Watch for signs on the doors. Checking Group Me. Let me say that one more time. Group Me is where we post all of our communications that are essential for your success in our ministry. So make sure right now, go turn your notifications on, and that way you can be receiving that. We're going to be posting Tipsy Tuesday videos. They're short little 1-minute videos that are going to help you be successful. They've got motivations and tips for how to thrive in the classroom. And then Thrive Thursday is going to be some other tips that are going to help you really be reminded and to teach you of some important tips to help you be successful. Also, be sure that you are letting us know if we need to make any changes to the schedule. If you see anything that we need to take care of on our end, please be sure that you're communicating with us. We want to be your support system. The next thing for ultimate service and for your success is checking your schedule weekly and daily. There are going to be lots of schedule changes in December, because sometimes we have to move things around for Christmas parties. Our grant schools will be ending the week of the 15th. There's going to be, and that's just for the semester. That's their last week for the semester. There will be lots of changes. So just check your schedule every week and every morning, and let me know also if you see any conflicts. Consistency is going to be such a blessing for ultimate service, being on time. When these schools are already stressed and overwhelmed, us being late or not being there at all magnifies that stress tremendously. So I can't tell you what a blessing it is for us to come in and they know that they can count on us to be there when we're supposed to be there, to run the classes on time and to help them remain on schedule when there's a lot of other chaos that's going on at the schools. And then planning ahead. Finals, I know are coming up, so I'm going to ask you this week to post your final schedules to get your classes covered with finals well in advance. That way it's not so stressful the week of finals. Also, knowing our holiday closures, I've posted that several times, so make sure that you know when the vacation times are, and we are all on the same vacation schedule. Unfortunately, we're not able to allow some people to get off early and other people to come back late because we all have to operate on the same schedule to best serve and meet the needs of our schools. Dynamic classes is the second key to success. Remember, we want to make these classes super fun, engaging, and an educational experience. because this time of year especially, the kiddos get a little crazy and excited with all of the activities at Christmas time. And the stress of the directors and the teachers with everything they have going on, and the stress of the parents overflows to the kids because kids are so sensitive to our energy. So burn a ton of energy off those kids. Make stretch and grow a time. A lot of times they can't go outside. So how can you really make your classes, whether it's dance, whether it's music, whether it's stretch and grow fitness, whether it's sports, whatever it is, just a time for them to be able to have fun, for it also to be educational, and just to get the most value from the classes. Bring in extra rewards. I gave y'all some Christmas stickers. There's a whole tub of Christmas incentives and toys that you can bring in, and stuffed animals. So make sure that you do that. Have fun with your lessons. Bring in new equipment. Make sure every week it's new activities, because if you keep the kids engaged, then they are not going to have so many discipline problems, right? Being prepared. I know so many of you guys are busy, but I promise you, if you take just 30 minutes and you schedule that in your schedule, and I know we all waste at least 30 minutes doing something mindless, whether it's social media or watching TV, you can carve in 30 minutes to prepare for your classes, to get the equipment that you need, to make sure that you have music ready, supplies ready, lessons ready, write out your lesson plan notes so that you can go in there with confidence and have a good variety and lots of fun, creative ideas in your classes. Also, just a reminder, kids are sensitive to our energy. If you come in stressed and overwhelmed, they're going to feel that. So bring in positivity, leave your stress in the car, listen to praise music, pray before you go in, get your energy centered and your mindset right. Gratitude, thankfulness, counting your blessings is one of the best ways to switch your mindset and your energy from being stressed and overwhelmed to being joyful, and to really bring in a positive mindset and spirit. Also, real relationships. The directors and the teachers are super stressed right now, okay? They've got tons of activities going on. So think about, how can I be a blessing to them? How can I make them feel valued and like we truly care? This is such an opportunity to let them know and to do things that make them feel appreciated and cared for. Also looking for opportunities to partner with them. One of my friends had a great idea. If our schools are doing a food drive, let me know. We'll send some food to reinforce what they're doing. If they're having Christmas parties or programs that we can become a part of, let us know, and we would love to really partner with them. And then I want you to think about this season, this month is an opportunity for the ultimate impact. We are hiring new coaches because we do have a few that are graduating and moving on to the next season of their life. So duplication of our ministry to new coaches is one of the greatest impacts that we can have moving forward. So I encourage you, you're going to have coaches training with you. Follow our company procedures. Show them how to live into the mission statement. Be on time. Provide ultimate service. Follow the dress policy. I put a short little video about the dress policy because I have had some complaints on our feedback surveys about us not following the dress policy. That includes all of our schools, whether it's public schools or whether it's child care centers. We want to respect them. We want to show them that we are professional children's fitness instructors, okay? It's not about being in fashion. It's about respecting them and being professional. So be sure that you watch that. Also, Ultimate Impact is about passing on your legacy to that next coach that's going to take the wand, that's going to carry on servicing your kiddos. And I appreciate you guys duplicating this. Also, please share about the job. We've only had a few applications come in. There is still the $100 bonus for people that apply and are hired in November. And then it's a $50 bonus for you for referring somebody. And so if we hire somebody that you refer, you get that $50 bonus. So don't forget about that. The last thing I want to wrap up with is self-care and spending time with the Lord. Y'all, in this season, it is so easy for us to go and go and go and go and go. But if we are not taking a little bit of time to pour into ourselves, we are going to get stressed and overwhelmed and burn out, and we're going to break down. So I promise you, with every ounce of my being, when I am the most stressed out and the most busy and it's the most demanding time of the year, if I take just 30 minutes on a Sunday and I pray through the week, that's what I've been doing today, and I ask the Lord to give me wisdom, to show me how to use my time, and then I plan out the week, not being rigid, but being focused and being mindful. It is amazing how much better the week goes, and I save so much time in the long run by not wasting time doing things that are not going to get me to the end of the result where I want. So I know that I want to experience joy and peace, and that only comes through, number one, spending time with the Lord, and number two, being very intentional with my time and where that's going. The second way is every morning, 15 minutes is all it takes. Pull up the YouVersion app on your phone. It'll show you the scripture of the day, and there's devotions that you can do. So if you're feeling anxious, pull up a devotion for anxiety. If you struggle with depression, pull that up. If you just want to experience more joy, there's devotions for that. It takes about 5 minutes to do a short little devotion. Get your mind centered. Pray, okay? And then the other thing that I do is I'll just write out, I have a little journal, and I'll write at least 1 to 3 things that I'm grateful for, because gratitude is so powerful in shifting our minds from feeling overwhelmed and anxious and not enough to shifting our minds to the joy and the peace that we're supposed to experience. And then the last thing with that 15 minutes, so your devotion and prayer for about 5 minutes, take a minute to do gratitude, and then about 3 to 4 minutes to set your intentions and priorities for the day. So think about, what relationships am I going to invest in today? What do I need to do? What is my focus going to be for work or for ministry that I do? School, what does my focus in school need to be like today? And then write out your intentions so that you're focused on that for the day. Then throughout the day, pour positivity into you. Listen to praise music. Think about things that you're grateful for, inspirational videos. I listen to inspirational videos every morning while I'm getting ready, while I'm driving. It just keeps my mind focused on what it needs to focus on instead of thinking about the countless things that I need to do and can't do at that moment. I also want to encourage you in self-care and managing your stress and resting. Sundays, maybe just for an hour or two, just to rest and self-care is so important in preparing for the week. So I just encourage you to do that. If you're feeling really anxious and overwhelmed, take a 10-minute break, do something that brings you joy. Go exercise for a second, release that stress and those endorphins, and it'll help you focus. And just a last minute truth to focus on. A lot of times I will write out promises and truths on index cards and put them in my car, in my purse, on my mirrors. But God is able to do immeasurably more than we ask or imagine. That is Ephesians 3:20. So when you feel like, oh my goodness, I don't know how I'm going to do all of this, think about His power is made perfect in our weakness. He is able to do immeasurably more. 2 Corinthians 12:9 is His power is made perfect in our weakness. Also, if any of us lacks wisdom, we should ask God, who gives generously to all, and it will be given. That's James 1:5. And then when I want to be servant-minded, I do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but to the interests of others. That's Philippians 2:3-4. And I just look up scriptures that help me to stay focused and in claiming the truth, because our feelings, whatever we're feeling, whether it's not enough, whether it's depression or stress or anxiety, that is not our truth. So shifting our focus to the truth, shifting our focus to being intentional, living that life that God created us to live, and experiencing joy in the process. That's what I hope for you guys, and that's what I'm going to do. Not perfectly, but I'm going to do it the best that I can this month. I hope you guys have a blessed week, and we will talk to you soon.